Welcome to the Brook Street Band at Home. I'm here to tell you a little about what you can expect from us at home over the coming months. We've recently had funding from Arts Council England and the National Lottery and its players to develop our new resource, Brook Street Band at Home. This is, of course, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic across the world, which has halted live music making for now. Over the coming 6 months, we'll be sharing a series of podcasts, composer talks, masterclasses, family workshops and much more. There'll also be live music performances showcasing our individual instruments. You'll get a real slice of the Brook Street Band at home, and as we're getting to grips with the technology, there are bound to be some fun moments along the way. We can't promise that there won't be technological glitches and internet crashes, as we're all working from home, sharing space and Wi-Fi capacity with our families. You'll know us from our happy place in the 18th century, a world unsurprisingly free from tech and language such as digital, bandwidth and fibre broadband. These are rapidly becoming part of our daily vocabulary, and our period instruments and us humans are learning to adapt. Thankfully, I don't handle all the social media for the band on my own. Our flautist and recorder player, Lisete da Silva Bull, who many of you will of course heard live and at our Love Handel Festival and on many of our recordings, has joined me here today to chat a little about our digital programme. Lisete, thank you for zooming in today. You probably haven't missed the long commute from home, have you?
Not really, no. It's really nice. I live in the countryside, most beautiful Kent, so it's really nice to be able to do this from home.
Yes, it's fantastic you could join us, and I should add, we don't, as Lisete said, we don't all live in the same city or even the same county, or in fact even in the same country. We're spaced out in Kent, London, Norfolk, Suffolk and Hamburg in Germany at the moment. So our projects normally entail a lot of travel, but I think I might be saying however much we're missing each other at the moment, it's quite nice to save on the travel time, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, I really miss the playing together and seeing you all, because, you know, we're all such good friends, and it's really nice. But it's nice that we can do this like this. And it's certainly amazing that we are able to do this project all together in spite of the distance. And that is something to be really grateful for.
That's definitely a bonus to being in the 20th or 21st century, to have this technology at our fingertips, even if it feels a little clunky at times learning to use it. Lisete, would you just be happy, by way of an introduction, to tell us a little bit about your musical background and how you came to be part of Brook Street Band?
Well, I came to the UK. I'm Portuguese, born and bred in Lisbon. And I came to the UK, I think, first in 92 and then to settle in to study at the Royal Academy of Music in 1993. I play recorders and historical flutes. And it's been at least 10 years, perhaps 13 years that we've been doing things together. And it was just started off with little things, and we very soon realized, you know, that this really worked, and it was rather wonderful. And it felt like coming home being in the band with these magnificent women.
I'm sorry to interrupt. It's just been so lovely to have you as part of us, and I should just add, it's lucky the other band members aren't zooming with us at the moment, because we can now confess to being united through, apart from a love of Handel and music, coffee.
Yes, oh my god. Coffee rules and rocks my world, I'm telling you.
We're fired up by coffee, as is Rachel often in Hamburg. Not everyone is a coffee person though, so rehearsals often feature a lot of coffee, a lot of chat, a lot of camaraderie and goodwill to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've been part of the band, yes, more than 10 years actually. And I love the fact that you bring many instruments to us. It's not just one recorder, it's not just flute. We have the wisdom of all your instruments and your different kinds of recorders. And we're all coming from slightly different backgrounds. My main love, I probably don't have to explain this, is Handel, of course. And Lisete, yours?
Well, I'm quite in love with Jean-Philippe Rameau, really. He features in my wall, in my music room at home, just behind me. I mean, I do love Handel, I do love, of course, but Rameau has been a point of interest and research. I also have to say, I've got Bach. In fact, I seem to be between Bach and Ramo, and you're there in your home with Handel. We're not too bad, aren't we?
Yeah, I've got Handel behind me. I've actually got my grandpa there as well, which is really nice. He was a cellist. So
This
it's
is really good.
nice to feel him watching over.
Definitely, definitely.
So
So yeah, I mean, I have a keen interest in research. There's an academic side to me, which is another reason which is so nice to be in the band, because I think we share that. We share that. But we very much what we do is about bringing history into life, and not just through the medium of sound, but through the medium of understanding the social and economical and political background of things. And that very often makes the performances come alive to me in a fuller way. And although we will never really know how they sounded in 18th century, and indeed we, do we, fully, would we fully perform in the same way? I think it's a really rather wonderful thing to explore the possibilities of these wonderful instruments in music. And I think that's a wonderful thing about belonging to this group, is that we do have that side.
We, as you say, we've all got different passions and different specialities and interests in what we do and what we research behind the scenes. And over the coming weeks and months, you'll get to hear a little bit about what makes us each tick individually as players, our areas. I'm sure Lisette will want to share some information about Ramo. I'll probably chat a little bit about Handel, although it's to my great sadness, he never wrote anything for solo cello. So I shall have to allow Callie to demonstrate, Carolyn, our harpsichordist, to demonstrate Handel on the harpsichord. But so we'll be giving some composer presentations and putting up playlists. We can't all together play for you live, but we can share our playlists of our own recordings. And we'll be looking at some of the solo repertoire by composers such as Bach, Handel, Telemann, and Ramo. Not that he wrote any solo repertoire.
No, he didn't. But I will do my very best with Beaumortier, for instance, and kind of to have a deeper exploration about instruments and about music, and really what makes music tick, and what was around in 18th century, really, because there's so many contrasting styles and types of music. And I think between all of us, we're going to bring you a little slice of what Handel's world was like, really.
So we're basically being time travelers, which is what I love about what we do. We can be historical time travelers. We can neatly get rid of 300 years between these composers' worlds and ours, and hopefully bring them into the 21st century and straight into your homes. Now, a big part of what we do as well is education work. We work for many music hubs around the country. We deliver projects. We're currently involved in a large-scale project called Roots for Cambridgeshire and Cambridgeshire Music. We run our own festival in Norfolk, Love Handel, which has a large educational element. We've worked for hubs in London, in Norfolk and Suffolk and Cambridgeshire. And one of the opportunities this digital project offers us is to, instead of going into schools at the moment, which we can't do, and give concerts for students and young people who might never have heard this music before, we can actually very easily communicate through our computers, which saves on travel. It means everybody can access what we're doing. And so we'll be doing family sessions and introductions to instruments and workshops. And there'll be a couple of sessions where people can actually submit questions or chat to us as we're delivering the session. So via the chat function on Zoom, or email us questions, and we're relishing the opportunity to interact and get to know our audience a little better, all around the world, in fact, not just in the UK. Is there anything you'd like to add to that? Because I know education is something you feel passionate about, Lisette.
I do, and I have for many, many years. I mean, in this country, I've been really teaching since I arrived, and it's going to be 27 years. And I do really passionately believe in music education, because I had teachers in my life that really inspired me, that really cemented a curiosity and wanting to find out more about things. And I think music is a leveler for social status, for in this case, because we're delivering this sessions free, which is a wonderful opportunity to reach out to communities and people who perhaps wouldn't have access to it. And this is something that is really close to my heart. I mean, I have a huge background in musical education, be it with, I spent about 8 years doing live music now, concerts. I have published children's and collaborated in children's publications. I wrote my own tutor book for DK Publishing on how to play the recorder, for instance. And I really love sharing music and breaking down music away from this idea of highbrow, that this is only for people who have a lot of money, that this is only for people who are very academic. Well, actually it isn't. Music is for everyone, you know, and this is something we as a band really believe in, and I certainly do, both as a musician, both as a teacher, both as a mum, you know, all those hats that we all use. This is something that's really crucial. It's also really important to create tomorrow's and a generation of music lovers and listeners in full understanding that this is a wondrous thing that you're delving into, quite you know, a journey, and it's also an adventure. And I quite like music and adventure and exploring and bringing things to life and making this fully come to life. And I really hope that you can come join us in this, because I know we are going to have such a lovely time doing it.
I'm so looking forward to it. I think I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said. It is an adventure. It's something that should be for everybody. And whilst we're all hating being separated at the moment and not being able to perform live, and that goes for all creative people across the world, actually to be given this chance to chat through our computers and through just being at home, we can turn this into a really lovely opportunity, I hope, and connect with new audiences, strengthen our bonds with current audiences, get actually to chat. We love chatting, you might have gathered that. At concerts,
I know.
we always chat, we always introduce our pieces, and we can do that. We'll have to learn the skill of not chatting too much perhaps online, but we'll learn as we go along, and we hope you'll bear with us. We're going to put up a programme of events on our website, so keep checking www.Brook Street Band to see what's happening. But just as a heads up, tomorrow there'll be a little introduction, some harpsichord music by Handel, a very short extract played by our harpsichordist Carolyn Gibley, just to get us started. We had to start naturally with Handel, I believe. And then I've prepared a podcast about Handel's trio sonatas, which will be available soon. And then we'll be kicking off with some family workshops on Saturday, the 27th of June. And we'll put up times and links nearer the time. But we really hope you stay in touch and look forward to this project enormously. Lisette, thank you for joining me today.
Pleasure. And keep asking us, email us if you've got questions, if you've got requests perhaps of things you'd like to see us play, for instance, or questions about what you'd like to know about the music, instruments, or anything like that.
Yeah, we will happily try our best to answer all questions as best as we can. That's enough from us for now. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye.